Good evening, everybody. We're live on Eastern Outdoors Media. It has been a few weeks, and I am so glad to be back. I'm waiting on my good friends to join me, our community of Eastern Outdoor Media followers that we love so much. So let us know where you're watching from. Tuesday Night Live. Things are livening up in the animal kingdom here in Kentucky, at least. And let's talk about it. Let's talk about what you've got going on. Let's talk about what you're looking forward to. Jimmy Carroll's there. I hope everyone, as you know, it's mostly men that get on here. So hopefully everyone had a good Father's Day. Jimmy Carroll, what are you doing? I see a big foot moving. I got two of them, Scott, actually. Robert Stewart is watching. Thanks for being here. Robert, Tina is here. Thanks, Tina, for watching. I hope Brad had a good Father's Day. Tim Marshall is here watching. Thanks for watching, Tim. Gordy Mullins from Ohio is here. Curtis Allen Howard. Let us know where you're watching from. Robert, Tim, Curtis. Gordy, we know where you're watching from. But let us know anyway. We like the comments. I feel like my hat, I got hair sticking out of my head. I've been seeing several turkey poults around. I just talked to my daughter and she said, I saw a turkey. That's a good thing. We want to see all the poults we can see. My grandson baseball game, championship game. Congratulations to your grandson, Gordy. Richmond, Kentucky. Watching from Georgia. Who's watching from Georgia? Josh is watching from Christian County. So we've got Georgia, we got Kentucky, we got Ohio. What other states do we have? Chuck is watching from Mercer County, Harrodsburg, Kentucky. How's the hunting in Mercer County, Chuck? You never hear many people talk about it. W.O. is here. He's watching. I see he's not told us. Oh, he said afternoon, guys. Hey, W.O. Glad to have you, brother. Hollybush, Kentucky, back in the hills. Josh Teeter is here watching. So glad you're here, Josh. Let us know where you're watching from. Ross Rhodes. Ross Rhodes is watching. Let us know where you're watching from, Ross. Hey, for those, if you follow us, Jacob Murphy is watching. I'm trying just to call people out as they're on here because we like to know where you're watching from. We love for new people to be on, and we just don't want lurkers, right? We don't just want you on here lurking and watching and listening. We want you on here talking to us. Ross Rhodes, another Ohioan right there. Let's see. We got turkeys and deer and every fur bear on the move and thriving here in Southwest Kentucky. Josh is watching. Josh Teeter is in Jessamine County. If you follow us, if you're on our show on Tuesdays, if you follow our posts over the last 3 years now, we love, while a lot of people don't love them, we love the black bears that we have here in Kentucky. I think it's a great hunting opportunity. I know they are a nuisance to those who live in Eastern Kentucky, but you know what? You guys are getting along just fine. And so we love black bears. Mike Schuler is watching. Thanks for watching, Mike. Let us know where you're watching from. And I just saw a post today. So all the black bears are in the mountains in Eastern Kentucky. A vast majority of those are in Harlan, Bell, and Letcher counties. Charles Parton II is watching. Charles, let us know where you're watching from. And but there was a bear in Lexington today. Quite a ways. It'd be a 3-hour car ride from that central area there in Harlan, Bell, Letcher. But a small bear made its way to Lexington. I saw pictures of it floating around. Did you guys see that? Josiah from Wayne County, Ohio. Thanks for being here, Josiah. We appreciate you. John, did you get my message last week about the guy I met and we got talking about hunting and we both are members here? Jimmy, I didn't see that, man, but I'm love hearing that story. So, Jimmy, you met a guy and you guys were talking about hunting, and then you're like, hey, follow Eastern Outdoors. And he's like, hey, I already do. So, that's awesome. But yeah, black bear made its way to Lexington. Now, I'm not a black bear expert, but Jacob Combs and Tyler Lunsford are watching. Jacob, Tyler, let us know where you're watching from. But from what I think I know is these young male black bears get pushed out by the females, by their mothers, I guess, essentially, get pushed way outside of their home range. And sometimes they go for a trip. And it looks like this one in Lexington has taken a long journey. I hope Fish and Wildlife doesn't put it down. Didn't look to be bothering anything. I hope it can get away and make its way back to Eastern Kentucky, which they do. That's what I'm hoping. He hunts Somerset. Listen, I've said it. If I ever move outside of Frankfort, I don't think I will, but if I ever move outside of Frankfort, I will be moving to Somerset. Cindy Robertson is watching. Cindy, let us know where you're watching from. We sure appreciate you being on here. Someone said evening. It is a good evening. Who is that? Let us know. If you're watching from the group, you got to let us know. Mike Fancher. Mike, I hope I said that right. He's watching. Mike, let us know where you're watching from. Lawrence Eagle is watching. Josh has a great question. So if you have been putting in for the elk draw in Kentucky for 20 plus years now, maybe 22, 23 years, and you've never been drawn, then you could have been a winner this weekend of the elk loyalty redraw, which means if you've been loyal and putting in for 22 years, then you are now first in line for the loyalty redraw. So I've not seen anyone personally be redrawn. I heard that it happened over the weekend. If you know someone, let us know who it was. Chuck says the bear was in southern Fayette County, more out in the country instead of city. I think they will leave it alone unless it creates some problems. That's good to know, Chuck. I think it's probably safe to say that every county in Kentucky east of I-75 has black bears. I think that's what they say. Every county east of I-75 have black bears. Now, not many. I see Josh Wilson's here. Josh, I'm glad you're watching. Josh has been doing an excellent job in our Kentucky Outdoors group. But, yeah, they should just let that one go, man. Just if it's in southern Fayette County, northern Madison, whatever, just let it migrate back. Maybe it's out in Estill County. Maybe it's coming from there. Maybe it's – hey, I've seen some photos recently of some big old bears out in Rowan County and Moorhead. So just let it mosey on back. It won't have that far to go. Tyler Allen Logsdon, Maverick Thomas, Mickey Hart, Jim Brannig. I don't know how to say that, Jim. Let us know where you're watching from, guys. Hurley Combs says it's rigged because we didn't say it's rigged because of this. He's kidding, by the way. Donald Thomas, president of KEGA, got a loyalty tag. So Donald has been putting in for a long time. Finally got one. He can guide himself. Someone said I'm a little late. You're a little late, and we don't know who you are. Let us know who you are. Josh says my uncle got drawn for the redraw with a cow with a gun. You know, Josh, you just brought up something that I hadn't really thought of. The loyalty redraw, how's it divvied up? I guess they take the tags that weren't purchased and kind of randomly. Hurley, if you're still on here, what tag did Donald get? Josh Wilson says that he saw that there was one in Rockcastle that looked like a big one. I would say Rockcastle has a small population of bears for sure. Maverick Thomas is in northern Kentucky. Glad you're watching, Maverick. We appreciate you. All the northern Kentucky guys have been going crazy on my Facebook feed over the Reds, and they're just, I guess, setting themselves up for a massive letdown. Tyler Allen, Logsdon, I'm ready for bear season 2, man. I can't wait. David Canada, Bob Moore watching. Let us know where you're watching from, fellas. Bear season in Kentucky, I think around October 20th, 21st, 22nd is archery season. And, man, I can't wait. Archery for Donald Thomas. So he got an archery tag. So that is probably the best tag. You got more options there. John Ross is watching. Thanks for watching, John. I'm thirsty. I've not been talking much today. You guys got me going. Northern Kentucky here too, John Boy. Reds suck. Well, usually they do. You're right. So there you go. And we'll see how they do after the All-Star break. I don't know. We'll see how they do. Maybe they keep it going. Probably not. Going for 19 in a row. I think they're at 9 in a row right now. Let's see. Would you rather kill a big bull or a big elk? Is there anyone else confused on that? A big bull or a big elk? A bull elk? Or like a bull as a cow? Because a big elk is a big bull. Somebody answer that. Would you rather kill a big bull or a big elk? I don't know. A big cow or a big bull? Okay. Well, I think everyone's going to say a big bull. Antlers, right? You want the antlers. Or, yeah, I think this is a better question, Josh. Tyler says, how about a big bear or a big elk? I'll settle for a big bear just because a big elk is elusive and not so much the animal as it is the tag. So I guess if I had to, honest to God, most people would go elk just right off the bat there. That's a hard one for me because I would love to kill a big old bear. I would love to. No, I just don't like sports. Oh, someone said that. Well, I do like sports, but you're right. The Reds, they're continual letdown. Thought they were the same. See, Maverick, I'm with you. They are the same. Angus bull. Someone said they'd rather kill a big Angus bull. It's free steaks. Love it. Big elk, good eating. Yeah, I agree. I think the amount of meat that you're going to get off a big elk is going to be, worth it there, even if you like the big bear. I have my big cow elk looking for that bear now. There you go, Tyler. Please let us know if you get it. And if you've never been bear hunting in Kentucky, holler at us. We've never killed one, but we've been close. Let's see. Big bull for me, unless it's a 10-foot grizzly. Big bull with a bow. That has to be Barrett. Kevin Wayne Harbison. That looks like a new name. Kevin Wayne, let us know where you're watching from there, brother. WO says, seems like it'd be easier to kill a bull elk than a bear. Well, if you're with Hurley Combs, maybe. But I think you're right. If you had an elk tag and you have a bear tag, you got a better chance killing an elk than a bear. The bears are hard. My name's showing up. Uh-oh. Nope. If you're watching, if it says Facebook user, maybe I can look on my phone over here. Richie Redden's watching. Richie, thanks for watching. We appreciate you. Is my name showing up? No, your name is not showing up. So if you're watching from test, is my name showing? No, just type your name at the end. Butler. Maybe, Scott Butler. He struggles. But yeah, I think you're right, W. I think a bear is much, much more difficult. One, I don't know. Bear behavior is so erratic. I guess an elk behavior is similar to deer behavior. I don't know. Bears can travel a great distance in a day, just a crazy distance in a day. They smell better than any animal that we hunt. They're the best smelling animal. I don't know about, they are, their sense of smell is better than any animal in North America. Maybe in the world. I don't know. Somebody look that up. Google it. Let me know. Yes, Scott, we see you now, brother. You are here. Look there. Look at that pretty picture right there of you. Let's see. Josh Teeter says, I killed a cow elk in 14 with a bow. Some of the best wild meat I've eaten. Yeah, elk meat is great. Bub, we got you now, brother. I want to call a bull in like a turkey. Well, maybe he'll come in strutting. I don't know. Jonathan DeFevers is watching. Jonathan, let us know where you're watching from. Robert James watching from Lexington. Joe Dan Thomas says, bears suck. Imagine a 300-pound coon. Now, they taste better than a coon, Joe. Don't you think so? They taste better. And a coon, you can't spread out a big coon rug on your floor. That's what I want. I want a big bear rug. Bob Anderson. Let us know where you're watching from. I posted some pictures today of some bears. No, I didn't. That was last week, I think, of some bears. They were in Wisconsin. And that was a massive bear. Today I posted pictures of albino deer. I've been seeing a lot more deer out lately. And what I'd really like to know is how the antler growth is doing in your neck of the woods. I've not seen a lot of photos. I've not seen a lot of trail cam photos of velvet bucks so far. How's that going? Are you getting a lot of things on your trail camera? Have you even put your trail cameras up? Let me know what's going on in your neck of the woods. Let's see here. Mike Hamlet is watching. Dylan Jenkins. Bub Tackett says, watching from Parkersburg, West Virginia, on my way to work. So we got Kentucky, Tennessee, Ohio, West Virginia. Let us know if you're watching. Our New York guys are on here. Josh says, if work picks up drywalling, we got a spank jogging and fishing. Oh my God, the sight of John laying naked on a bear rug. You're the one. Hey, you're the one imagining it, bro. Got to go. Got to bottle some Jim Beam early in the morning. See you, Tyler. Have a good night, brother. Have fun at work. Gordy's grandson won his championship game in 11 and 12-year-olds. Is this Little League All-Stars, Gordy? 11 and 12-year-olds? Is this Little League All-Stars? Because that's some of the funnest times of my life. Josh says he hasn't checked his camera, seen a couple of bucks while driving, and I have a couple of and have a couple with forks starting. Seems like they grow their antlers slow around my area. Josh, you seen that? Let's see, did he have cameras out? I don't remember now. Haven't checked cameras. Josh, your camera's on public, I guess. Jimmy says, I've been procrastinating and no cameras up yet. Hope to have up next Tuesday. You know what? I have 5 bags of Antler Builder Minerals, Antler Builder Essentials, it's called. And I've not put any out. Not put out my cameras yet either. I keep saying I'm going to, and things keep coming up. Mike Hamlet, Columbia, Kentucky. Thanks for being here, Mike. We appreciate you, brother. Mike, that's a great beard too, brother. That is a great beard. I can't grow mine that long like that. Have seen a few out pretty good. Some guys showing antler growth that are huge. Hey, we want the pictures. If you got some huge antler growth, send them to us. We love that. Bub says, we got access to WMA now and Wheelwright. Going to hang cameras when I get home. Still don't have it. Let's brag on Bub for a second. Bub, if you didn't know, is the city commissioner in Wheelwright, Kentucky. He's taken his first step into politics, and it's been a successful campaign so far for Bub. Maybe he has his eye set on mayor. I don't know. But Bub, they had in Wheelwright, where Bub is, they had a WMA that was landlocked. There was some private land that was owned by the city. Bub, I did read the article in the newspaper you sent. There was private land owned by the city. You had to cross the private land to get to the gate, to get to the WMA, but there was a gate there. So Bub led the charge for the city to vote, should we open the gate so people can access the WMA, because there's no other way to access it. Ben Moore, thanks for watching, brother. Let us know where you're watching from. So here's what happened. Bub led the charge. The city commission voted on it. Bub won 3-2. It was a close call. You could say Bub's decision was the deciding vote. And now the people of Wheelwright, Kentucky can go through the private land, access to public land, and everybody's a winner. I think that's great. Now, the first group that goes out there and burns tires and throws their Busch Light cans down, Bub's going to have a problem with it. But he'll take care of that. So, virtual hand clap for Bub. Good man, did a good thing for the hunters of his city. So, that's awesome. I loved it. Job well done, Bub. I agree. Job well done. Let's see here. What is Is there any type of call a black bear would possibly come into? I've never hunted them, and if you can't bait, it seems almost impossible to harvest one on the way they roam. Right. I don't know if we'll ever be able to bait bears in Kentucky. Maybe 50 years from now when I'm too old to do it. I've heard of people using like a distressed rabbit call or something like that to lure a black bear in. Now, I'll have to check. I've never done that, and I probably will never. But I have to check the guidelines. I don't think you can use an electronic call for black bears, but you can use a mouth call. So if you have like a little, like a what's that? Oh gosh, what's that company? Quaker Boy, yeah, Quaker Boy. If you have like a Quaker Boy rabbit stress call, just a little mouth call, you can use that. And I've heard that it could bring them in. I don't know. Bub says that was the opposition fighting point was trash. Uh-oh. So I may have to hang a camera if that starts up in that area instead. Yeah, I think you'll be fine. Josh says, what's up with the new baiting laws that you can't put mineral out or corn till July or August? Yeah, you can't put corn out. You can put minerals out. However, minerals and salt blocks are allowed. You can put those out. That language will be changed and made official, but you can put out minerals and salt blocks. You cannot put out corn. If you put out corn, you're going to get in trouble. August 1st, you can start putting out corn. Zach Dennison is watching. Zach, let us know where you're watching from. We appreciate you. Scott Butler has it right down there. No corn, minerals okay, unless it's a CWD zone, as far as I know. True. CWD zone, you can't put anything out. That would be west of Kentucky Lake. I used to know the counties. I think it's like Caldwell, Marshall County. I can't think of the others, but they're way out there. Where the counties west of Kentucky Lake, those 5 counties. So, but yeah, that's it. So yeah, man, black bears, tough. They're tough, but they're awesome creatures. It's a great hunting opportunity in Kentucky. It really is. Russell Hefner is watching. No relation to Hugh. Russell, let us know where you're watching from. Let us know. So, deer season is 74 days away. I had this conversation with somebody the other day we were talking about our deer camp. We had deer camp last year. It was the first weekend of September, like always. And it was hot. The hunting was difficult. Everybody there wanted a velvet buck, but we would settle for a doe. Hey, it's opening weekend. I'll settle for doe any weekend. When do you start deer hunting? I will be out there. We're not having camp the first weekend of September this year, but I will be out there the first weekend hunting somewhere. When do you start? Some people wait till October. Some people don't start until November. Some people only gun hunt. Some people only archery hunt. So what is your start date typically for deer? And, if you start early September, is it like, I'll go out once or twice, but I really start in October? What's that look like for you guys? Jimmy Carroll, he's like, no wasted days, September 2nd through January 17th or whenever the last day is, Jimmy's going to be out there. Dennis Garreau, are you watching? That's a new name I've not seen. We're so glad you're here. Let us know where you're watching from. If weather was like this afternoon, definitely first day. Well, it's going to be a lot hotter early September than it is right now, I would imagine. It seems like our summers have kind of moved up in the year. Gordy in Ohio says last weekend of September for Ohio. It seems like a good time to start. But, Kentucky's unique. We have the velvet season. Has anybody ever killed a velvet buck before? Jeff Kendi is watching. Jeff, thanks for watching. Let us know where you're watching from. Josh Wilson, I'm hunting opening weekend and won't stop until my tags are filled or the season ends. Now, Josh, if you fill your tags, are you going to go back and get a couple more doe tags? What are you going to do? Jimmy says, have a great week. Stay safe. Work comes. Jimmy, we'll be on live Thursday. Check us out. Don't forget. We've summer's tough and we're busy. And so we're not going to go live probably every week, but this is a good week to go. We'll be back late October until January for John Ross. So, John, are you in Kentucky? I can't remember what you said. This will be my first year with a bow, so I'm going to start in early October when I saw my deer start coming out later in the morning before the acorns start falling. There you go. We're going to have our public land deer camp, and everyone's invited to it. Now, here's what happened. Last year, 50 people signed up for a public land deer camp. I was so excited. I gathered free items to give away. I had gift cards to give away. It was so can't get extra doe tags. Oh man, sorry, Josh. But Josh, you can just come up here with me. You can. But I had worked. I said, hey, we're going to have 50 people at this deer camp. I had people donate stuff, and I think we ended up having 12. So I'm not going to get excited when we have people sign up for deer camp. Heck, I don't even think I'm going to do a sign up. Maybe. But we're going to have deer camp early October. Bub is going to be there, so we're going to schedule it according to his work schedule. And I think we already said maybe like October 8th and 9th or something like that. So if you want to join us, it's a lot of fun. It'll be in Western Kentucky, Peabody WMA, 40,000 acres to hunt at Peabody, 30, 40 minutes up the road. There's another 14,000 to hunt at Penny Ryle. I forgot the name for a second. There's plenty of room, and there's not many hunters out, not many archery hunters. Now, we would not have public land deer camp there during gun season because it is the wild, wild west. So we do it during archery. So John Ross says he's hunting in Kentucky, Vermont, and Florida. That is an eclectic trio of states there, John. Florida, I understand. Maybe go down for the winter. I don't get Vermont. Do you have family in Vermont? What's up with that? Yeah, Josh, I said this earlier. I just kind of off the cuff, but come up here. Josh, come to our deer camp. I know you got a little one. You got a little one at home, but your wife can handle it for 2 days, 3 days in the fall. Come to deer camp, Josh. Or especially if we have a gun camp close to you, Josh. I think we will. How's it going? Everyone was on vacation last week. Caleb has a baseball game. That's Mikey. Mike Collins, not on here tonight. Caleb had a baseball game. I think it's his last Tuesday night game, so Mike should be back next week. There you go. Jones, Kearney, WMA, decent. Decent. All right. There are deer on every WMA. Some are much easier to kill than others, but there are deer on every single WMA. Josh Teeter has a good question. What are your favorite call camera brands? I think he means trail camera brands. Josh, honestly, I don't pay a lot for mine. I use the Moultrie mobile cell cams. I think I got 2 or 3 of those. If I'm not going to use a cell cam, I just use any one I got out there. I use what's the cheapest one? It's not Taco. Somebody tell me what's the cheapest one. I have several wild game innovation ones that are like $40. And then I buy those like $30 ones. What are they called? Is it Taco? Yeah, maybe Taco. So Tacticam, someone said they're using Tacticam. I don't think you can go wrong with that. Excellent brand. Spartan, another good one. The Outdoor Gazette. Hey, another Vermonter here. Have a camp in Irvington, Kentucky. Hey, Outdoor Gazette, come down, man. Join us. Follow us here on Facebook. And when you come to Kentucky, holler at us. And, man, we love getting together with folks and having a good time. That's our favorite thing about having this page. Hey, and speaking of this page, we just passed 70,000 followers. Our goal is to get to 100,000. Tasco. There you go, Scott. Thank you, Tasco. Our goal is to get to 100,000 followers by the end of the year. I think we're going to do it. I think we're going to get to 100,000 by the end of the year. And I'm working right now that if we get to 100,000 by December 31st, 2023, then I'm going to try to do like some kind of huge, massive giveaway, like maybe like a couple $1,000s worth of prizes. But I'm stoked about that, man. 70,000 people, almost 71, follow this page. And we never thought it would even come close to that. I'm just very grateful for that. James is using Spartan. My guide and great friend Chad Drew, an Antler Gun. I cannot read. Antler Gun moose tag for Maine. Moose would be an incredible animal. That would be. We put out a little thing last week. You had, usually you see these with sports. It's like $15 budget, and it has like 5 lines of animals. You spend $15. Now, a lot of people cheated. They didn't choose 5 animals. They're like, I'll just choose 3 from the top row. That wasn't the rule, right? It's supposed to be $15 spent on 5 animals. But moose was in that top category. The moose would be an incredible animal to hunt. Josh Boone, all I know right now is baseball. I hope Duncan is doing well, Josh. And I hope my cell camera is still out there on that property. I don't know if it will be. It might be $100 down the drain, but I hope it is. I say I'm going to go back every week and get it, and I keep forgetting. Let's see. Outdoor Gazette says, you bet. I'll definitely reach out to you when we get down there. We'd love that, man. Absolutely love it. Please do. And, hey, maybe we can come up to Vermont sometime. Really proud of you, man. Thanks, Mike. Mike, you've worked hard too, brother. Let's see. You can buy wild games on eBay that have been basically flashed down to a very simple cam. Still good, cheap. Yeah, I bought some off a guy. I bought some Tascos off a guy, and they ended up being like, after I bought them, they're like $8 each. I paid for them. They work just fine. Mike must have been listening earlier. The Reds are going nuts right now. There's like 10 games in a row. It's coming, boys. The letdown is coming. I'm not really a baseball guy. I like the sport. I've just not watched it in years. Scuba Kissinger is watching. Scuba, that's an incredible name if that's your real first name. Kudos to your parents. Let us know where you're watching from. Scuba has to be somewhere on the coast, right? If your name's Scuba. Let's see. Bear hunting in Vermont has exploded in the last 5 years. I'd love to get up there, John. Can you bait? John, can you bait in Vermont? Bub says what I've been saying. It's June and it's the Reds. Right? Let's wait till after the All-Star break. Now, do they have some really talented, exciting, entertaining? No baiting in Vermont. Wow, okay. Okay, so maybe it's tough there. But yes, the Reds have some talented, exciting, entertaining young players. But do they have the pitching? No, Scuba, probably from Idaho, maybe. Let us know, Scuba. Are you in here? Do they have the pitching? Do they have – what if the new guy gets hurt? I don't know. You never know what's going to happen. Never know what's going to happen. How many Reds fans are in here? Are most of you Reds fans if you're from Kentucky? I'm guessing Vermont, maybe a Red Sox fan. I'm a Patriots fan, by the way. Live in Kentucky, but I love the Patriots. Mike says he's cautiously happy. That's Mike's life. It's Mike's life. He's cautiously happy. He's always worried about what's coming around the corner. And you know what? I love him for it. Outdoor Gazette says hunt cornfields, beech nuts, and wild apples for bears. There we go. Yankees and Pats for the Outdoor Gazette. There. Hey, you've had some really good years. I'm a Yankees fan because of the Reds. Okay. But I also saw maybe you're leveraging your position as city commissioner because I noticed that the Yankees in your little league in Wheelwright is in first place. Also noticed your son plays for that team. So did you put your son on the best team or maybe your son made them the best team? I don't know, but I don't know. I look out for things like that. Josh is a big Reds fan, enjoying it while it's happening. You should enjoy it, Josh. Absolutely. I don't watch much of any sports. I don't until the fall. And then when football season's here, I'm watching. I can be a pessimist for sure with sports and teams I root for. Yeah. Well, I mean, you do like Cincinnati sports. I'm still trying to lock hunting land down. Man, who has a lease? Because leases are outrageous. I don't think I'll ever be able to pay for one. Not because I can't afford it. Right now I can't afford it. But just because I just don't know if I can justify it. We are in the finals, but got to win back-to-back to win the ship. Well, I'm sure the city commissioner can make it happen. Let's see. Doug Clayton is watching from Piner, and I'm a Reds fan. Piner, Doug, is that where you live, is Piner? Because I feel like Piner is like down Maybe that's Tyner with a T down in Jackson County. I don't know. Beech trees are loaded in elk country. Bears are going to be happy. Now, speaking of leases, Hurley, you know, those bears are probably hard on your elk. And so maybe we should go thin a couple out. Just saying. The bears, if a bear stumbles upon a fawn, an elk fawn, then elk fawn's done. So maybe we should thin them out, Hurls. We'll see. Vermont says the lease is too rich for my blood. Yeah, mine too, Vermont. Vermont, what's your real name? I called you Outdoor Gazette in Vermont. I'm guessing you're the owner, editor of the Outdoor Gazette. I'm going to check that out, by the way. The Outdoor Gazette. Let's see here. Maybe we can do like some guest posts or something. Outdoor Gazette is an app for the outdoors. I love it. Gazette hunting fish slams. Hey, you guys do this. Let's do this right now. If you have an iPhone, don't leave the live. Okay, you should be able. Oh Lord, I know some of you are not going to be able to do this. At some point, let's all go download the Outdoor Gazette on our phones and check it out. Fred is the owner. He's on here. He says, thanks for checking it out. Make sure that you check out the Outdoor Gazette. Download it on your phone. If you go do it right now, just do it. If you leave the live, just come back. It's fine. We'll be here 20 more minutes. So go check that out. We need more hunting social media because sometimes we get censored, right? Sometimes Facebook flags a post. Now I have to say, I have to give Facebook credit for our page. They flagged a couple and looked into it and said, hey, you're good. They flagged a couple and looked into it and said, nah, we got to remove it. And I understand why there were some violent posts that we had with animals that we probably shouldn't have done. But for the most part, Facebook's been pretty good to us, so I can't complain. But the Outdoor Gazette, even better. Go check them out. This person had already added them. Already added. Good. Nice. John Ross says, no lease, been there, not worth it. Yeah, I think it's just really hard. Not only is it difficult to get a lease that financially makes sense, but now people are probably less trustworthy. Not that we can't trust the landowner. Landowners are probably more cautious from letting people on their land now more than ever. And it's probably because of things they see on social media and the news, or they're just, begrudgingly holding on to that land. I don't know. I think it's just it's probably hard. It's harder to get land to hunt now than it probably ever has been. But I'm with Josh here. Too much good public land in Kentucky to get involved with a lease. I won't say to get involved in the lease, but there's no reason to worry about it. If it's a struggle, you don't have to have private land to kill a good deer in Kentucky. Kentucky's in the top 5 Boone and Crockett every single year. We have 1 million deer and 300,000 hunters. You got plenty. Mike says Mike says, I'm so glad we're getting rain. Pumped about my antler builder food plots. We've also got corn and soybeans out. Time to crank it up a notch. Now, that might be a good place to take my daughter to Mike's because my daughter just wants to sit in a blind and wait on a deer to come by and then shoot the crossbow. So something like that's perfect for private land. But if you're a hunter, go to public land. It's fun. It's fun to go out there and bump deer and miss a shot and, get frustrated and learn something. You're learning every time you're out there. I'm probably the worst hunter out of the 30-some people watching. I'm probably the worst hunter out of all of us. But, man, I love it, and I learn every time I go. Thanks for the plug. You're welcome. You're welcome, Fred. Anytime, brother. Hey, thanks for being on here, man. Every Tuesday night. Most Tuesday nights. Some summer. When fall gets here, Fred, we're every Tuesday. I don't care what's going on. If I got the flu, if I'm out of town, if my kids are sick, I'm getting on here every Tuesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern in the fall when deer season gets here. Most of the time in the summer, but we skip weeks here and there. Robert says, I just got some red and white clover out. Was wanting to do one more burn on a south-facing slope, but then all this rain came. Yeah. Sounds like you're doing a lot of good work there, though, Robert. Let's see. We have seen deer on public in Kentucky last year. Yeah, there's lots and lots. No, let's not miss. Let's not. Oh, let's not miss. Yeah, I mean, it just happens. It just happens. Should have shot, bub. I should have shot. I should have shot. Say what? Bump deer. Miss. I'm a terrible mentor. Mike. It's okay to bump a deer on public land. It's okay to miss. I mean, nobody wants to miss, but it just happens sometimes. Right? It just happens. Maybe you hit a little twig that you didn't know. I'm talking about archery. You know, with a gun, you probably should hit. But with archery, maybe you hit a twig that you just didn't see or didn't account for. Or maybe you reposition yourself and you make a noise that bumps the deer. Or maybe you're just going in, you step on leaves, there goes a deer. Maybe it's 10 yards from you. Guess what? You can bump a deer and still kill that deer on the same day. Now, for me, I don't know if I can do that, right? But there's people that do it. I bumped a deer last year. I was going down a ridge. I bumped a deer. I saw him. It was a buck. I saw him taking off. So I said, you know what? I'm going to walk all the way back out and walk to the other ridge where he went. And guess what? 30 minutes later, he was crossing that ridge. And I was probably 80 yards from him when I saw him crossing and didn't get a shot. But it proved that, hey, he was still shootable if my big butt would just moved a little faster, I guess. But if I had, maybe I bumped it again. I don't know. Let's see. You're bound to bump deer. Yes, you are. Bumping a deer, I vomit a little when it happens. Now, that is the difference in a guy that always hunts private and a guy that's hunting public, right? Those public land deer, they're skittish. They're way more skittish anyway because you got people who go through there like maniacs. You got people who come through like with dogs, all this. Your private land deer, they've patterned you, right? So you bump that one, you probably ruin the day. I don't know. Or maybe you got to change your setup. I don't know. But I think that's the difference. I mean, when you're hunting public a lot, you just know it's going to happen. It's okay. Let's see. If you don't miss, you're not shooting enough. See, Fred's with me. I knew when Fred got on here that we were going to get along. Fred's with me. But, John, you're right. Let's try not to miss. No one's missing on purpose. If we bump too many deer, they go completely nocturnal. We're screwed. That's small private property. Mike, hold on. I want to talk about this, and I'm not really completely prepared. Mike, there's a study. Pennsylvania did a study of like thousands of deer that show they really never go nocturnal. Deer never go nocturnal. And the bigger bucks are moving at like 12 to 1 o'clock. Like, that was a very interesting study. I'm going to do a little breakdown of it, and we'll talk about it on a Tuesday night. I'm probably going to do like a story on it. I'm probably going to do a reel on it with it in the background, like a green screen. But that's a fascinating study. That deer they don't go nocturnal. It also said that they does, and when it rains, does move a lot. Bucks don't move when it rains. When it's windy, they're all moving a lot. So it was a fascinating study. I'm going to have to look more into that, but it is a lot of myths in the deer world. And look, there's 27 people in here. I'm probably the worst hunter. But there's a lot of myths in the hunting world. Let's see. I've put 12 acres of alfalfa, and I have been praying for rain. Well, you got it, Josh. Prayers answered because it's been raining here in Kentucky. John, I will have you a buck opening weekend this year. You just have to show up, make a good shot. Pressure's on you. Listen, I know that's Hurley. Ain't no pressure on me. I shoot. I don't care. The arrow will go where it goes. Let the lead fly. Let the arrow fly. No pressure on me. If I don't get it, big deal. I didn't have it before I got there. I freak out when I bump a deer on public, though. It really upsets me. It's so costly. Yeah. I think it's perspective, Michael. You just got to change your perspective. I know I can't convince you. I'm not going to try to. And it is fascinating. You need to check that out. They move later. Yeah, they do, Gordy. Compare the harvest numbers on public and private land in Kentucky. Not good. Well, yeah, I mean, the thing is, compare archery and rifle numbers in Kentucky. Compare, not good. Compare the number of bucks. Compare the number of people who only kill a buck and not a doe in Kentucky. That's not good. We need to kill more does, actually. You want Kentucky to be the number one Boone and Crockett state? We need to kill more does, I think. Mississippi State did a study with that too. The hunting public talked with them about it. Yeah, I think the good thing about hunting and social media, I said earlier, sometimes you're censored. The good thing about hunting and social media is we got so much more information now than we had before, right? Like if you've been hunting 30 years, there's so much more information now than when you started 30 years ago. That's a good thing. Gordy says, seen many between noon time and 1 o'clock. That's what they said too. Mother Nature gives us plenty of food plots. We make licking branches and mock scrapes with success. Jeff, Jeff, I want to know, do you pee in it? Do you pee in the mock scrape? How do you make it? Do you put anything on the licking branches? Tell us how to do it, because I've made some before, and some have done well and some haven't. So I would like to know your secrets, Jeff. Hunt is not over if you bump a deer. I've been telling him that, John. I've been telling him that. Scott Ross. I combined John and Scott. Scott Butler, 11-2, seen some of my biggest deer, no doubt. No doubt. You know why? Because most people leave at like 9. Most people leave at like 9 to 10. So the deer are like, okay. Do you know what the most fascinating part of that study from Pennsylvania probably is that the day before deer season, it's like 70% reduced movement. The deer know when deer season's coming in. According to the study, the deer somehow in their biological clock know when deer season's coming in, and the day before deer season, movement declines drastically. I have to find that. I have to find the study. Mike said, I am going to write a piece on how we can take care of old hay fields with spraying, create better field habitat for turkey and deer. Mike, I'd love to see it. Mississippi State thing you mentioned was awesome. Mike's going to make some horizontal rubs. Beer in Lexington today, apparently. He meant bear. Yes, there was a bear. We talked about that at the beginning of the show. There was a bear in Lexington. Someone on here said that it was South Lexington, South Fayette County, which is more out in the country. So hopefully it just gets to go back to Eastern Kentucky where it came from. John Ross shot his biggest buck at 130, stay in the woods. Now I have a hard time with that, John. I have a hard time staying there and staying still and not saying, you know what, maybe I should move. Or maybe I should just go home. Yeah, I've got to do better this year. I've got to do better. I need to take a book or something to occupy my brain because I just have a hard time sitting there, bro. I just can't. Oh, drives me crazy. I was with you with the beer. Hey, we got some. I'm Fred. I'm sure I'm telling you something you already know, but when you come to Kentucky, we got good beer. But of course, you got to get in on the bourbon while you're here. Have to do that. Don't use anything but doe pee. Okay. Now, where are you getting your doe pee, Jeff? Are you getting it? Are you getting Tinks at Walmart? Are you ordering some? Are you squeezing it out yourself? How are you getting the doe pee? Fred, all day sits are miserable. They are miserable. That's just how it is. They're miserable. But they pay off. They pay off. And I need to do better. Or maybe you should go eat. Hey, my backpack, I have a big backpack, partly because I keep a lot of snacks, Scott. You know that. You know that, Scott. So, anyway, yeah, hey, I am my goal. Tinks. Jeff uses Tinks. So there you go, Jeff. I've got some frozen raw scents in my refrigerator from last year that I'm going to be using on some mock scrapes. And here's the deal. I'm going to be going out very soon and hanging cameras, cell cameras, manual cameras, and I'm going to make some mock scrapes, and I'm going to see what's out there, and it's going to be on public. And here's what I do. Here, I don't know if this works. Okay, here's what I do. When I put an expensive trail camera out, I put my name and number on it on the bottom, right? That way, if they go to turn it into a pawn shop, it has my name on it. I also put on there like property of Kentucky Fish and Wildlife, deer research. I put that on my cameras. That way, people maybe won't touch them. Is that illegal? I don't know. Is it a good idea? I don't know. But I just put on there property of Kentucky Fish and Wildlife. Do not move. Deer research. And I put my name and number on there. So I hope that has deterred people from getting my cameras. Last year, there was someone that grabbed my camera. We had two other cameras. They took the cards out of those. On my cell camera, though, they had grabbed it because they had turned it to the side and they didn't take it. So I'm hoping that's what it was. I don't know. Yeah, a licking rope or a hanging rope, a vine. I've used that before and it's worked well. It has worked well. Didn't get any big bucks or anything where I had it set up. Didn't have it set up in a great place, but it did work well. Let's see. I tried, no luck with mine, but I see another. The ground was bare, 10 feet circle around it. Yeah. Mock scrapes are hit or miss. Ronnie's had 2 cameras stolen in 3 years. Ronnie, try my trick. It may work. If y'all haven't called your local private land biologist and have them do a walkthrough on your place, you should. Really helpful. Yeah. Hey, these private land biologists in Kentucky, I don't know about other states, they're just waiting on you guys to call. If you own land, they'll be glad to come take a look, give you advice. You don't have to do it. It's free, but just have them come out and tell you what they think. And then you can formulate your own plan or buy your own stuff or what have you. But they'll come out and they'll give you, it's free. They'll come out and they'll give you a thorough run through of what you could do to improve the habitat at your own place. So, Emmett Davis, if you're still watching, let us know where you're watching from. I saw that you just came on. But yeah, man, I'm hoping that here in, I don't know, the next couple of weeks at least, I think I'm putting a camera out in Harlan County the 4th of July weekend, and I should have some deer and bears on that one. The one that I put out here, or the 2 or 3 or 5 or 10 or however many I put out here in Central Kentucky, probably no bears. But definitely should get a lot of deer. Let's see. They'll do a free forest stewardship plan based on your goals too. Yeah, they'll do. Hey, they're there to serve you. Private land biologists, call them in Kentucky. It'd be very beneficial. That's what Michael did. Mike did that, and he put a solid plan together. He's got soybeans, he's got corn, clover, all kinds of stuff. The antler builder. Spring and summer mix, I guess they put out, and they're on the right track out there. So they kill a lot of deer out there too. So yeah, man, I don't know. There's I don't know much else to talk about here. We've covered a lot of things. We had Ohio, Kentucky, Tennessee, West Virginia, Vermont watching tonight. Make sure you check out the Outdoor Gazette. Put it on your phone. I'm going to do it right now in the App Store. Another app that I have worked with some lately is Camo Space. That is one that I have worked with. I did some writing for outside of Eastern Outdoors, but right now I'm downloading the Outdoor Gazette. You know what? They have 5 reviews, 5-star reviews. Let's give them some more. Let's see if we can double the 5-star reviews for Outdoor Gazette. Let's see if we can take it from 5 to 10. Can we do that? Can we just show them the love? Yeah, I'm going to sign up right now. So anyway, Mike says, my face looks thinner. I don't know, Scott. Maybe it's my beard. I don't know. I need a haircut. I need a shave. I've probably gained a lot of weight lately because I'm eating like crazy. I don't know. Mike says we're going to address our fescue problem in the fall. We're going to get rid of honeysuckle in the hardwoods. Man, honeysuckle is tough, isn't it? It grows everywhere. It's, you know what? The only thing worse than honeysuckle is kudzu. Whew, that stuff is contagious. I don't know. Fred, you're welcome, man. I hope, Fred, next Tuesday when I get on here, that the Outdoor Gazette has grown at least by a few, and how many people downloaded it, and there's more 5-star reviews, and they're coming from Eastern Outdoors. Oh, Scott was joking. Well, thanks, Scott. You made me feel good for a minute. Let's see. Mike says, I believe there's a plant app called The Naturalist. You can take photos of the plant and we'll tell you what it is. I have an app like that. Actually, I have one for insects. Because my daughters love, if we're out in the woods, they love to find different things and look them up. And I have one for plants. It's called Picture This is the one I have. Picture This. So, yeah, we do that in the woods. But anyway, guys, we appreciate you being on here. June 20th, deer season in Kentucky starts in 74 days, September 2nd. I will be out there. I hope you're out there. But until then, we have ways to prepare, right? For me, my big butt needs to get out and get in some better shape before September comes here. That's always my goal. Doesn't always happen. But that's my goal this summer, is to get in much better shape so I can go farther, stay longer on public land, and it's also to be a little more patient. I need to be a little more patient. So anyway, we appreciate you guys. Thursday night, we have Bass Fishing Live. We had some guests lined up that's canceled on us, so we'll see how that goes. But we'll be back next Tuesday night, 9 p.m. Eastern. Mike will be on here with us. We'll talk deer. We'll talk bear. We'll talk elk. We'll talk sports, whatever you guys, beer, bourbon, whatever. But we just appreciate you guys being on here. So thank you for following us. 71,000 followers almost. Help us get that to 100,000. We really appreciate that. Hope you guys have a great week, and we will see you next Tuesday.